it's for me it's beautiful. So.
I can imagine, that's alright.
So not too many playtests.
Concise plan, I think. Be on target. Always focus.
Excuse my terrible spelling. Anyone else want to talk about that stuff? If everyone in the class is 1 point,
likes 480p.
that makes more sense.
SE transfer.
Right, yeah, why don't we just go around everyone in the class one at a time, everyone gives a point.
Yeah.
If they
Can
can't
you
think
count
of
the one I
one,
did at the start?
Huh?
Can you count the one I did at the start?
No.
That's my only point.
Can you sorry for both more?
Huh?
Can you build my both more when I'm doing
Let's try to figure out who's
How's the name?
Yeah, but I'm zoomed in, man.
I did this less than a week ago.
Huh?
Should remember. It was less than a week ago.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Did you even read the articles?
Oh, most people didn't have articles to read.
Oh,
It was YouTube videos. Yeah.
Right.
Hour-long video.
My one's
Because I was digesting the information. You just watched a video.
There was someone. Was it Ed? Would you talk about them a bit?
Talking conversations that Costa's told me off about 12 times for not having you all in control.
It's all one-sided.
One big conversation, please.
So regain control.
I just did.
Not very well.
I will slap you. Do you want to go sit in the corner?
A little bit.
You're in the normal. Stop. You're going to have to take your jacket off and stand outside that door.
This is workplace bullying.
I'll bully you in a minute.
I think we should all join a union.
It's part of a union.
And who's going to be in charge of the union? You. You're fucking useless.
No, I won't.
Exactly, so don't start.
You're already part of a union.
Should we
just go clockwise?
Yeah, we'll start here.
Clockwise.
I need to find, what's your name again, sorry?
Andreas. Somewhere at the bottom.
You can do Control F.
Lewis.
Yeah, but down for us better. Control F useless.
Found it.
Yeah, there you go. Just somewhere at the bottom.
Which one should we take? Prototype, core elements. If an idea is not working, ditch it.
Could you talk about it a bit? Like, because I'm not really sure what's going on, because I missed like the post-mortem and stuff.
Post-mortem, we literally all had to take a document or video that Costas gave us about a game studio and take all the good and bad points that they did throughout the development and what they thought was good and bad. And we had to take it and just like summarize what we thought of it.
Okay. Yeah,
It
alright.
was very boring and everyone loved it so much. Which of your 5 points would you like, guys?
I'd go for don't get hung up on complex systems, or if an idea is not working, ditch it, because we've had these problems already.
Okay, take your first point.
I'll ditch it.
Right, I need to find that. Lewis, which point would you like?
I want the one about ask very important question to ask yourself, just so everyone's done it. Is the game fun to play, or is it just something you're making?
Making a game yourself is that's a good point.
Has anyone asked themselves, the game that you've designed, is it a game you would play yourself and find fun and interesting?
Yeah.
Potentially.
It needs to be more playable for us to determine that, probably.
Does it
I'm
though?
playing
I'm gonna lie with
Well,
this.
you need like a prototype.
But you know what kind of games you like playing, and what you like to feel with the game and everything else. Is that what you're envisioning, and is that something true?
Yeah, I didn't deliberately design it for fun.
Tony, you went into this better.
Well, that's true actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I made
don't know what that is.
I copied and pasted some voice one really appropriate.
Okay.
That's very
I wrote it down, yeah.
You put the summary at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too long. The idea is you read that so you don't have to read the rest
Yeah,
of it.
that's good.
Yeah.
What would you want?
Huh?
What point do you want?
They got a stranger to play test the game every week, and whenever they made like a lot of progress.
Is there a different stranger every week, or the same stranger each week?
It was a different person.
New person to play test the game every week.
Yeah.
Costas better appreciate this.
And with the
It's like
amazing
you
quality
appreciate it.
with the footage in 480p, you're going to love it. Best I can do. It won't go down, actually.
Ben's going to watch it 10 times speed.
What point would you like to add, Jonathan?
Oh god. Find my one vote. That's better.
Yeah.
I'll put it like the small focused teams. This is the second one down.
This one.
Yeah.
Who's next? You didn't do one, did you?
No.
Yeah, so,
Didn't think so. And name, sorry?
Tom.
Thank you. I'm really bad with names. Are you talking to me? So this one.
Yeah. Where is it? Define the full game loop of the game early and compare work with that.
This
So,
one, yeah. Beautiful. God, this is a great method.
it's a big one, yeah.
This is amazing. We hardly have to talk.
Oh,
I don't think you'll be able to do that.
We did the out circle.
We'll go around and then in this one. I should probably learn everyone's names.
We should go out to the pub sometime.
That was a great show.
look at that.
I feel like it's
What was a great show? We'll get all these
Because we have got students. You're making everyone badges. And not that.
Just assign people numbers. Say that.
Yeah, we'll assign everyone's
I don't know historically.
You want to actually
Sam, he's trying to
Please, have
Sorry. Everyone?
Let's say, small projects should be released as they can act as a pitch. Usually the idea is.
I was literally just reading that.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Who's next? Twat face.
Wow.
Did not like that.
You've got all of it or Ollie?
It's
Ollie.
my turn.
There you go then.
I think it's so big.
Fucking hell. Look, I can just tell you it. I can tell you what I want you to
That's
put.
how you fix it back.
What game did you
Just music.
I'm
Let
like,
the game studio.
Go for it
oh, here we go.
then. Fucking hell. Make sure we test at gaming. Well, they all tested at gaming conventions. Obviously, we can't do that, so we can test the games at VGA.
Test the evidence.
What is VGA, bro?
Video Games Academy.
What happens any Wednesday afternoon?
Oh, we're meant to test it where there's people.
The one route we had to that.
I don't think I would take a team with all this swearing I did it like.
You see how this is working? We've been doing it for like 20 beats.
Yeah, I didn't do bullet points.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it.
So I'll just say,
heard it's not mandatory and I never win.
I will swear, bugger. That's the word for that. Overconfident.
Because
That's spelled wrong.
you got to quote him as well. Come on.
Overconfidence, because you can overestimate what you can do, and then not be able to do it, and then that makes it feel like shit.
Okay.
And then that's just a downward spiral.
Overestimating. Is it just like reading my assignments all over again? You didn't do it, did you, Alex? Nope. It's just Thomas or
I do have a full name.
Tom? Make it done. Don't pretend like you do.
Backfield positives.
Wait.
You can put negatives. Things to avoid.
We could do it pros and cons, but that's going to take a long time.
Do you want to send help about doing this?
Exactly.
Stay in constant communication with the team so the design process goes a lot smoother.
Which one's this?
It's the one that's going the constant communication.
That. Nice. Thank you very much, Tom.
What we can do is a no-no.
Jackie boy. Oh, you didn't post it in properly.
No, you throw it
there
out,
we
yeah,
go.
no. Fuck off, that's right.
Did you do bullet points at the end, or?
I did, sorry if you keep going down.
Jesus.
Right.
Yours is ridiculously in depth.
So I had Super Meat Boy, and because they had to do crunch and they wanted to kill themselves for like 2 months, it only made it only made it worthwhile because they were best friends. So a great working environment. So, I know, but everybody's not best friends.
That means we should all just go out tonight.
I agree.
Just such an alcoholic.
Is that an
I drink like once a week.
So that's done. There we go. Sweet. These are the points on how to effectively
Where's
take
yours?
our game.
Yeah,
I'll put mine in at the top somewhere.
Okay, we believe in Samuel.
Yeah, we believe you.
Somewhere in there.
There it is. Sometimes teams have to split up to focus on aspects of the game. Thank you very much. Okay.
I think
There we go. So Costa's
Sam-
probably going to slate this and hate it, but
Sam,
everyone,
I think you can add also something about the meetings that we're doing.
effective meetings. Good point. These are definitely all effective.
Well, not really effective, but we have them. Not much, but it's honest work.
It's not so much what we have at the minute, it's more what we need to succeed. That's what this is. So we need all these points to succeed in having a good published game.
And a happy customer.
Yeah.
Because
Which he wasn't last week. Everyone happy with that? Anyone think off the top of their head that there's a very key point we need to add that we can't think of? Yes,
I'm going to act like the cost us in the room now
Oh god.
and say, we've got this,
Mhm.
what are we now doing with it to make sure
We just need
it's not just a document, we actually do that
Printing
stuff.
and shredding it.
yeah.
100 times.
We
there you
need
go.
to all follow it.
Tattooing it.
Everyone tattoos it onto their chest.
Everyone just needs a copy.
Reciting
version.
Would it be good for someone to go
I don't know
away,
if everyone.
possibly one of the higher up people, and organise it into, these are the points, these are the actions we can take, and then assign a lead to each of the actions to follow up.
Leads want to do that? Because we've got a lot of work on this week.
Nothing I feel.
It doesn't need to be this week, but
Yeah, that's a good point. We can
But
do
what
that.
would the leads do then with the points?
so if the point is effective meetings, that lead will ensure the meetings are effective and take over making sure they have agendas and everything
So a
else.
bit like in MSQI mixed in with this sort of thing, just to be like,
Yeah. Or if the point is make sure we get stranger playtests every time, they're going to be checking in with the people organising the playtesting.
Drag someone out from outside the
so,
room.
so we make sure everyone has one of these points and then they have to.
Do you think
Who's the most trustworthy to lure people
I
in?
mean, like,
Huh?
I'm just thinking, do you think that should come from the leads and make like everyone gets a point?
I mean, it's up to you guys to decide and distribute.
We'll sort that out. That's a good point though. Put it here. Make it smaller.
I also feel that's what Costas would have asked on Wednesday.
You're taking it to the side, mate.
Great, it's a great surprise.
How about everyone just shuts up? It's been a long day. My body hurts.
Grandpa Sam can't work.
Yeah.
I did the gym for 3 hours this morning.
That sounds like a you problem.
It is. Okay, that's done. We'll sort that out some other point. So now that we're done with that, thank God. It took longer than expected, but okay. So right now we need to go into the horribly horrible part, which we had the lovely discussion at the end of last lesson about, and we need to continue it. We need to decide on what is 100% in the game, what is 100% out of the game, and how we're going to proceed by making it. Yes.
starting with what?
Starting with the whole game.
Wouldn't it be good to compile it into a list of features that people have done, a list of features people want, and a list of features that people don't want?
Kind of.
That's what we're
I
doing now.
think that they put.
They want to do it, but we can't do it. We can't
It's not feasible.
It's not feasible.
These have to be fulfilled.
Yeah, where is that on
Not
Sol?
just in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not technically feasible.
And we can run with that. Just go back.
Zach, what have you done?
I'd like lots to see this.
You guys don't need to see it.
It's
It's fine.
cool.
It's for me to see.
How can you see it?
You say it was in a PowerPoint or in the assessment?
Reading.
Introduction.
If I do maths.
If we did much,
Was you able to do that document?
Good.
So,
Broke down what we have for each.
And you can see
I
yourself moving
have
yourself.
broken down, except for the audio, which I'm still trying to get up estimates. I'm hoping to grab the audio person at some point, looking generally in the room at...
That person waving.
There's two.
Oh, Chris, yeah.
Depends which audio.
There you are.
Good job.
One music, one
75 sounds for nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Both of you guys, I'm hoping to grab from you, if you know, possibly from your head, what's the smallest file size you've been able to make your audio?
So, right now, I've compressed it, it's still too much, but down to 4 kilobytes. And it's still too much.
For how much of audio?
That's probably like 5 second audio sound effect.
Okay, and does that go into Unity compressed?
I would imagine so, because I'm compressing them in Adobe Audition right now.
Okay.
So I take a file, which is like 2 megabytes, compress it to 4 kilobytes. Sounds a bit shit, but it's still alright.
It's pretty good.
But I think I can compress it more down, and then I'll just give you the file.
Yeah, because it's more about, I'm trying to work out the allocation to art, sound,
Yeah.
code. I have no idea how much sound it's going to take at the moment.
I know, yeah. Well, I did like 75 effects, and that would
Probably
probably
the
use that
most.
much. Be like,
If it takes the most, we won't have a game.
But it sounds pretty hard to compress down to
take
that.
notes and then change the
Okay.
picture.
This is what you go and before.
it is. No, that's not
It sounds usually like 5 to 10%.
Ah, yeah. Huh?
Isn't it usually like 5 to 10% of the budget? The memory budget? That's what was going
You remember that this is also a very, very small game.
I mean, that...
In sound, yeah, but that sounds
this
quite
isn't
big.
a standard allocation of...
If you're not normal game, yes, but a game this small, probably not.
What you reckon left?
Take one note.
Another game will take up more space because it's bigger. You can't compress it so much before you end up with nothing.
Yeah.
Pictures you can go quite small. Code is just text. Sound is hard to compress too far out, it sounds distorted and destroyed.
Into the
Yeah.
other
We have like
In a normal game, yeah, it would be
Is there any
able
way
to.
else we can optimise it?
I want to talk to Bob
Yeah.
about that. I thought we can do it last
Or we
week.
can create a appropriate clock system where you just...
Yeah, we can do that. But the lowest I've gotten down to like a 5 second track is like 4 kilobytes, and that's
how small would that be?
well, like a single sound effect.
It's 600 bytes.
I imagine where I'm going to use
Oh, okay.
In the
not
code.
lots of effects
It doesn't
anyway.
matter about the time length. It can be as long as low as you want.
Cheese it.
And
Cool to
you
know.
can change it using...
Get it as compressed and concise as possible, and then in like a
Yeah.
small script.
Well, I was thinking maybe.
You might need a sample with them.
As a
Yeah.
question, have you guys tried not using a sound file?
We've done what Cos has suggested, I think it's mod files.
Have you created the sound in Unity using code?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
I have stayed clear, went away from Unity. But yeah, I mean the only thing that I come to mind is I can pick like 5 sound effects and maybe put it in a single file. And could you cut it in Unity? Could you pick and choose that?
You can
Yeah.
play from spots and then stop it, yeah.
So I mean that might work.
The other thing as well which you can do, which you guys I think weren't around, I was talking about this, is I managed to reduce a file by nearly 10 times by increasing the place
Some of them in.
and then we slow it down in Unity.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So
I will check it out, definitely. I think I can get it down.
yeah. So should I give you guys rough numbers for what I see as file size at the moment?
Sure, do you want to come up and talk that through? Get
It's-
it on camera.
Put it on camera.
It-
voice.
It'll be like 1 minute, so it'll just be very quick.
So,
Throwing you some numbers.
It's important
That's not too
stuff.
bad.
Otherwise I'll just turn it towards you and you have to.
Yeah, the camera's gonna.
The camera will face you no matter what.
Or we can do this amazing thing and be like,
Yeah, well, yeah.
very good, do that.
Yeah.
Um,
bring up this person specific.
Oh yeah, I should probably put my feet down. There we are, all official.
Oh, so disrespectful.
I'm very quickly getting up to that number.
I need to recognise it as a face. I need to recognise it as a face.
Yeah.
Just zooming on him as well. Yeah. You very much zoomed in.
He's doing some calculations.
Okay.
Why have you got to question everything I do, Ollie?
You're meant to be hosting this.
Yeah, it's not my section.
Yeah, I did in my head. And now it's
It's Mitch's job now.
I mean, it's instructions just you and then the screen. I
That for my sake now.
says background.
don't think it's zoomed in, I think. No, as far as I can go zoomed in. But he's being filmed through the screen.
okay. Yeah, it's going to be very, very quick. Basically, I'm going to start off by saying one thing we need to get sorted, hopefully by next week, is a list from the artists and designers, including the sound in that, of everything you want in the game in terms of what art assets, what sound files you want. Because I'm working off giving the artists 576 8x8 tiles, which comes to 9.5 kilobytes if we get it right down. I've not found a way to get it smaller than that for that number, but I think over 500 sprites is hopefully enough if you guys have everything planned out. So it's like, do you want Boulder? Have Boulder there. Is it an 8x8? Is it 4 8x8s? Plan out your 500. And then in terms of features with code, if you're wanting a large system, so I'm going to pick input to begin with as an example. It's between 5 and 8 kilobytes worth of code. Again, for things like combat or inventory, it's going to be around about 5 kilobytes. And then any smaller things, like individual items or things like that, are going to be around about 600 bytes or so. So that's the kind of file size we have to play with. So every feature we decide today, we have to allocate memory to, so that we don't go over.
Okay, when we do our list, maybe later you can go through the list and give estimations,
Yeah.
and we can see if we're on track or off track.
Yeah,
And
and this is also where, if we have items or things in the game which are very similar, we don't allocate memory to it.
Yes.
So an example is, if we've got a sword or an axe, the only extra allocation is an art asset. The code is all the same.
Yeah.
So we just need to keep things as structured as we can. Yeah.
Is that done?
Yeah, should we go through the...
It's just hammering back and forwards. That's funny to watch.
Move the camera. I wondered where you went.
I was just well, chilling. It's quite nice to sit down and not be stood up for a while.
You can sit back there and we can put the camera on you.
It'd be a bit boring watching just me the whole time. I mean, I don't think I'm in shot.
You are now. You weren't just saying, I zoomed in on the screen so you could see him.
So, I've just wrote down what is on the brief for the key features that we have to have in the game. Also, we'll write down the classes allocations later. But we need to hash out, as Miss just said, the list of all of the things in the game that we're going to pretty much. Oh shit, there's a phone. It's okay, didn't break it. So yeah, we need to make a list of all the things in the game. Obviously, this is the requirements that physically have to be in there. This is what Costas has set us as our task. So we need to add our extra bits, like what we were talking about on Tuesday, if everyone remembers, which I really don't. So anyone chime in at this point. Because it was like, I didn't actually realise that real-time combat system was an actual thing from the start. I didn't even know that.
We decided
That
to
was a base requirement that I didn't even realise.
Well, it is now, at least. Back to where they were on the real-time side of things.
Cost us a proof change, but yeah.
And then
Oh, is that from the actual?
This is the
Yeah,
brief, yeah.
it's a brief.
Ah, okay.
This is the actual brief Costas gave us.
Everyone missed that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realise how much was actually on the brief itself.
A lot.
Mm. So, from the GDD, we've changed back quite a lot from it, haven't we?
Yeah, so I've updated the combat, the enemies, the bosses. So now everything's in the hack and slash system. So yeah, for the programmers, every weapon basically spawns projectiles. And I've simplified it so every single weapon does that. The difference between a melee and a ranged weapon is simply the speed and the lifetime of how far it goes. And yeah, put in the combat what the variables are.
Just scroll
Right.
over.
And yeah, we've got all the bosses. 4 dungeon bosses, 4 bandit chiefs, 2 final boss stages sort of thing. And I think we have about 9 enemies. And I think that is a good amount to max out. Yeah, because I think the bosses is going to be a design challenge in itself, getting them all done. But,
So we've got 9 enemy types.
so yeah, 9 enemies.
I can't spell entirely.
Yeah, just
4.
4 mini bosses, 4 bandits, and then 4 mini bosses or dungeon bosses.
Did we work out how the abilities and stuff were going to work on Tuesday?
You know, speak to Chris too much. So just trying to lay out the general system and get it optimized. But yeah, how he's going to go with those items.
Any idea how many items? We don't know how many items we have either, do we?
Well, now it's a bit more streamlined. We should be able to have a bit more than previous.
What
But we'll
type
still
of
have-
items?
Well, there's got to
Whether it's
be
the weapons,
Consumables.
and they're all the same as far as you're concerned. Extra items, I guess it'll be like health potions, keys, stuff like
Might need a couple of items for like quests and stuff.
So there's stat
Miscellaneous.
increase items, which
Yeah.
can increase health, they can increase
Yeah.
any other stat you have. It could also be the same script.
Yeah.
And we can use the same for decrease if we wanted and just stick a minus.
Okay.
So there's stat change items.
Yeah, just for stat change items.
If we fit a lot on into the enums and do that, I reckon.
Yeah, and
You just have it selected and then
Should
get
we
it
put
into
puzzle items? Like keys,
Puzzle and quest items, because
puzzle and quest items.
I don't think there'll be too many of them.
It shouldn't be too many.
I'm not planning on
Less than
a
10?
shit ton of quest items.
If when you do your puzzles, you sort of get what items you want because these guys
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
everywhere.
So I've come up with an idea for something that can be used for combat and sort of puzzles. It's sort of like a game, I guess, which is just one tile that can't be moved through, and projectiles, when they go through it, their stats get changed. So there's only 4 stats, and so you can like change the speed, you can change the size, and that could be used to make boss fights interesting, puzzle elements, etc.
Yep. So we just declare as a stat change item. And a
Yeah,
stat-
it's just literally it would have a collision, and then when the projectile on collision, it just changes its own stats.
Yeah.
Same stat
That
for me
shouldn't
now
be
again.
too hard.
Do you know what changes they're going to have there?
Just the 4 base variables that the
Which
projectile
are,
which
I haven't had a chance to look.
This can all be found with GDD anyway.
Yeah.
Increase size of character. Characters are very stacked. What we just said. Increase size.
speed, lifetime, size, and damage.
Okay.
Lifetime is something like what's the name again?
And enemies and
Okay,
player
like
will use the
range?
same
For instance,
script.
if like
Like
it's
how long is gonna be the project for? Like if you're gonna like shoot it, it's gonna not reach the range. It
Anyone
has,
think of
like, to
anything
be-
else?
The 4 new items/abilities, right?
Yeah.
After each one. After we kill the bandits in the strongholds, do we just get a health increase in the next section?
If it makes it easier to use as a mechanic for.
I don't know, I was just thinking how
I think
Zelda did it.
I think that should be fair because you know you've got an extra life to take on the harder areas to conquer. So I think that's pretty straightforward. Really. Did you get stats in one area, or did you get health increase in the other? So you got both at the same time to play with.
How are we doing health? Are we doing like a bar? Are we doing like hearts?
I mean,
What are we
code something is just a value, then it's how you display it in the game. It's up to you, really.
Yeah.
Most of it will work.
Now,
With a bar,
the difference between a bar and hearts in terms of memory space is 2 lines of code, really. So it's going to be like a couple of bytes, if that.
Why is there a difference?
Because to change a bar, you just need 1 line of code, and you change the scale of the bar there. To do the hearts, you need to store them in an array, and then toggle them on and off,
Yeah.
which would be an extra line or 2.
That can just literally use a slider for the health and it just changes them over. It just gets the value.
It's pretty much the same.
But I would say the slider is easy to do.
It's
hard to do actual work.
It'll be like 2 bytes, if that. Basically nothing.
We go.
So we're going for hearts. Yeah.
How many NPCs are we going to have running? Are we going to reuse?
How many can you interact with, or how many can you are in the game?
How many are in the game? Are
We
we
can
going
just
to
reuse assets.
Are we going to reuse
Like,
the same?
just re-dump all of the same.
This is where
Change the names of them.
we've got 576 art assets. If you only use 300 of them, there's a potential for 200 more enemies if they're 8 by 8. So
How many quests
Design
roughly
200 enemies.
are
What
they
do you
gonna
want?
It's not it's not me.
How many quests are we having, Ollie?
I don't know yet.
I don't really know.
roughly? Maybe you will add, maybe you're like
Maybe
take out some, but roughly
it's just a
that's it.
different.
3 or 4 main quests per
Per city,
per zone,
zone.
and then
That will be around.
2 side quests per zone.
That will be 12 plus 8, around 30. Is that correct?
Maybe 20.
Yeah, ish.
Right.
Pretty much is I need one. There's only 4 zones. And if that's a main question, then
So between like
main one.
12 and 16 main quests.
Programs, how did you want the quests to work?
Well,
It's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be fairly simple. They haven't seen these.
I was thinking about like just some UI box popping up, telling you what to do, and after that, because if it's a main quest, you're just probably gonna go straight away to do it, just not gonna slack and fight anything else. But if you forget, you just come back, because I think like a log would take a bit like too much memory. If we have enough space for it, yeah, we probably would do it.
We
But
did talk about
for-
it on Tuesday, didn't we?
Yeah.
for the moment, I think we should just keep it simple, and if we have like enough space for a log, we're just gonna add it, because it's not like a real big deal. It's just
Yeah,
a
that's-
reminder.
That's why for now it's literally, as we said, literally there's one person in each town who just, as Lewis said, recites the line of the quest, so it tells you what you're doing.
Also, if you take a side quest while you're doing your main quest, it will just reset it, so you're doing just one quest at a time. I think it would be.
The main quest is just going on in the background constantly. It doesn't stop. The main quest is
Well,
just
the way I was planning to do it is,
Yeah,
you interact with the quest giver to get the quest.
yeah, but it's still one
You then
main
finish
quest.
the quest, go back to them, interact with them. To start the next line of the quest, you've got to go and interact with the next person. Doesn't mean that it's constantly going.
Kyle, how do you feel about that?
Because then it gives a chance for the players to do the side
Well,
quests.
yeah, but that's why the whole point is the main quest is just constantly going.
You know,
Just go.
that's why games being introduced because I'm planning that. Does it take you?
To be honest, I would take your part if you're about to return something. So if you're about to, I don't know, like defeat a stronghold boss and you have to take an item and you have to return it, yes. But other than that, if you're just gonna have to destroy it or something, there's no point for you going back there.
Yeah, it seems like very fetch and carry style. Like you constantly just.
Okay,
Just
so
seems pointless.
you have to destroy the item, for example.
Because I've looked at all
Then who gives you the next quest?
Well,
Yeah.
at the end of the stronghold
I mean-
being defeated, it'll say on the screen you have defeated the plain stronghold. You move on to the next area, and you just go to the next city,
Just after
and that's where you get the next quest. When you enter the city, maybe an NPC comes up to you and says,
Yeah, but he's
I'm looking at
right.
Kyle's face, and he's just like,
that's not weird.
yes. with what
I
I'm
am the
saying.
same as only because I agree with the quest line. I do it, but the main quest is just active throughout the game because you know what the main player goal is. But then you've got all the side quests to pick up along the way because it's your free roaming.
So are you saying that you can have the main quest and a side quest active at the same time?
Yeah, because the main quest is the overall anyway, so it won't affect you doing a side quest.
The main quest is just a background thing. It's just constantly there. You can choose to do it. You can choose not
That's
to.
what the
It's just
introduction is going to be about because it's telling you what's going on with the story and what you're setting up with and what your goals going to be. It's your choice to do the other quests as well, or not.
Because otherwise, if you keep constantly going back and forth, you can only do the main quest at that time. It becomes a very linear style game, and it's not meant to really be that linear.
Well, you don't have to do it all the time. You can
Well,
have
the way
some.
Ollie's explaining it is very much you constantly main quest. You can either choose to.
No,
We can
I'm
blend
trying
There
to
is that tiny gap in
I'm
between.
trying-
If you're
yeah.
stood in front of the main quest guy, you may as most players just be like, may as well just talk to him again now because I'm here. Instead of like, I'll go explore and do some things. Because if the main quest is just constantly going, then you don't have to. Because I know personally from myself playing a game, if I'm playing a game and the main quest is right in front of me, or there's a side quest that's like miles away, I'm just gonna be like, oh, fuck doing the side quest, the main quest, let's do it. And then and if you have to keep going back to him, it's like, oh, I've ended this quest, oh, the main quest is still here, I'll just do this again. It just makes it very linear and not very open world and how Kyle's world works.
Right, but how do you know where to pick the next quest from the main story?
That's the thing, as Kyle said, the main story is just an overarching thing that you find out about at the beginning and you just know what you have to do. That's literally just
It's not
Go
like
defeat the
it's
stronghold.
spoiling the story, it's just that's the intentional goal of the game. That's your main primary objective to conquer every region, and then once you've done it, you know there's going to be a final boss at the end as well. So like the introduction of the cinematics lays out the story, tells you what places you need to go, and then you do as your bidding as the character, and you pick up side quests on your own decisions and on your own terms. Just makes it's just more free roam that way.
I completely agree with you, but we still then we still need like a kind of a reminder, because if you start the game like let's say midway, you know, and you just started like in 2 days from then, chances are like you won't remind like every single detail. Probably you remind, you know, like you would remember, where to go, but.
Yeah. Well, that's why the person in town keeps track of current quests, so we can have two people in the town, one for side, just stood next to each
Are
other.
we having a map of some sort? In-game map?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we could
Definitely,
have
definitely.
like flashing reminders on points of interest on the map.
Just to talk about
Just
it.
show where you need to go. Like it'll show where the player is, and then there'll be like a flashing exclamation mark where like you have to go.
No, Lewis is shaking his head straight up.
No, man.
That's,
Well,
I have a feeling.
we
it's
could-
like that.
We could have it on the minimap.
We can have it, a map pops up.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about showing where the player is, so I don't know how useful that would be.
Or quest tracking
Well, we
via the
could-
map, that's what.
Yeah.
No.
I reckon you just
It's just
don't have any tracking. Like, just have a player or like an NPC, and if something's not been done, he says the quest line, and if something has been done, he just says what you did, and here's the reward. So, say you go off and defeat a mini boss, but you never spoke to the NPC. Technically, you still did the quest. You just never spoke to him first.
Even how's the game going to track that?
Well, it just
Or
checks if
on-
the boss is there.
I mean, on the boss stage, you just have it so it just knows that quest is finished.
If
Because that's where it would be anyway. So
So then when you go talk to it,
when
it's
you talk to
like,
them, it's still going to
thanks
that bit.
for defeating it, that's what I wanted.
Is that something logical we end up doing if we play a game? We might just go on with know what we do instead of asking people.
There's
As long as they say
do
why
that.
they're rewarded.
Yeah.
So I think that should be fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Dark Souls works.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
kind of gives you like, hey, go that direction, then you do your own thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then quests aren't so linked, we don't have to track them as much.
Is there a point in having like a,
It's
not a logbook, but like a little quest update thing?
So we did say about that on Tuesday, but it would take up too much
No.
time. That's why there's
Yeah.
we discussed the town person.
Is that just the base?
Literally, if you forget what you're doing, go
That's
back to
just
him.
the base
He
stuff.
says one line from the quest that tells you exactly what to do. Bug off and do it.
Basically,
So is that
get
yes?
down.
So even if you do exit the game, come back in, there you just go talk to that guy.
Yeah,
and
that
he'll
makes
say
sense.
exactly what
No,
to do.
that's
and
just
bug off
the
and do
code.
it.
Absolutely.
56
Yeah. Are we gonna?
So we need to get that down by 16 kilobytes.
Well, we'll need a map because the world's so big. It's like,
No,
Is it gonna show literally?
it won't show where you are, it'll just show them.
Just show that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's no like
If we get it down by 10,
Skyrim unknown location.
No,
That's
it'll
not
just show
too
you.
much.
Literally a map in the sky.
How are we gonna
Yeah.
how are we gonna make the map without a sprite? Because the map could easily absorb all our memory.
You could do a camera on top of the whole thing, but it will look very small as far as I'm concerned.
we can only
But
do
very small, I
that
mean
if
tiny.
we
I'm thinking that you can actually show where the player is. I'm not sure of what I'm saying right now, but you can actually have a second camera.
Above the player looking down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the map it's all grid based, yeah? Why couldn't we just have like an index for each grid, and then depending on which one you're in,
1, 2, 1, 3.
just like make that come flash or something? A whole grid. Square. That
You
doesn't
can
sound
you
like
can
it would
actually
take
get the
up, like,
position of the player, and once you got it, you check it with the grid. It will show you exactly where in the grid it is.
Doesn't, well, yeah, just the square that you're in.
Or even the actual grid. I think can even reach that point. Not quite sure though.
I feel you'll know what area you're in. So,
We hope so.
because
That's what it just has on.
tracking the player is going to take up a lot of memory once again. Like, I'm looking at Lewis's face every few seconds. He's just pulling faces. Like,
It's
oh.
dangerous
well,
all the time,
I-
isn't it?
put together a little list of the features
Mhm.
and a rough estimate based off what us programmers managed to do so far of the file size.
You're over it.
Yeah.
By how much? What, over your allocated bit or the whole amount?
The whole amount.
By how much?
We're on 61 kilobytes.
Oh, shit.
You
That's
can
about
optimise
80
that
assets.
down.
You want to do it?
I'm just saying.
No sound.
Makes my job easy.
Not even like in the programming sense, like
Again,
design
people-
sense too.
Yeah, obviously some of that will come out if we get rid of things like white spaces and have everything as just one line in each
I'm
class.
assuming you've ignored all the editor scripts.
That's still not
Yeah.
too much.
Because if you don't, you're going to get a lot of them.
Still don't be too much.
We're going to have to work out how to optimize some of the things. I mean, some of the systems like the inventory, I've just kind of had to pick a number out. So it could be less than that, but
Could you just have the inventory be like a load of booleans? Like, you have this item.
God, man, his code history.
With that?
That's a skull, mate.
we could, but the inventory is also things like picking up items from the world, going to speak to someone and vendoring them, having monetary value to them, keeping track of that. So it's more than just, do I take this item?
I have nothing.
So
I think, yeah,
So you saying we need to
If you could-
turn back on things again?
on additional features.
So we won't. What we've said here, that's pretty much everything.
I mean, we've got a prototype coming up in a week and a half. That will be the time for us to have most of these features in terms of size actually sorted.
Yeah.
So if we reach that time and we've done the inventory and things like that, and it's not 8 kilobytes, it's 2 kilobytes, that would help out.
Did you do an estimate for each one? And we'll be like, we'll know where to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I've done an estimate for each one
Yeah.
individually.
If you can put it on like the Discord.
Yeah.
So I feel like we just need to get this prototype done, then we can actually evaluate ourselves.
There's one thing that isn't mentioned yet is saving.
Oh shit.
I forgot to mention that. It can be done through player perks, but that's something with the code.
I've saved.
4 hours, do we need?
I've saved an additional 10
Just don't
kilobytes
stop playing.
into a game manager.
Yeah.
Mini
Yeah.
players
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have
checkpoints.
Make it
Save
really
point.
difficult, you don't have to have long term.
Yeah, that's,
easier to save it.
And that is good to go.
I mean, I think that is actually more than 500 bytes. Double check. I've got the code for that.
So, do we have anything else to say? Because we're going to have to wrap this up in a second.
Yeah, because everyone's got sound games.
Sound.
Round 2, that's good.
Because we do have this room for hours still, but you like need to
I
go.
mean, there's about 3 of them, I believe. 3 or 4. 4, yeah. I would have some more lessons I've already been.
And we're going to have another one.
Right next week. After the costs last evening.
Like the one before the prototype week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
I do have
That's
another
what we said.
question regarding the heart.
Yeah.
Are we just doing full hearts or half? Or quarters?
Full hearts.
Only full hearts?
I think it'd be easier, wouldn't it?
Be less space, yeah.
Less space, easier. Just slash up the whole heart every time. So you start with like 4 and you get 4 more or whatever.
Are we still doing like a spawn point in each city, perhaps, if they die? Like, we thought about if they die,
We did
when
talk
they're going
about
to turn
that.
up. What?
That's just saving for.
Yeah.
I think I know we can save space and do half hearts, but I don't know whether it will work. And it will sound really tacky if I say it.
Proof of concept then.
So, rather than having a code which either changes the hearts or something like that, we have a single line of code that says, you know, do the next frame in an animation, and we animate the health bar to go down in increments,
Yeah.
and then when it reaches the last frame, trigger a ball for game over.
You have to stop it on
Makes
phase.
sense.
Because then we're not having to code it.
Yeah.
It would save like a couple of bytes.
I can try
Try that. And, yeah. Give that a
Yeah,
go and
yeah,
see
yeah,
how,
possible.
how it goes along. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should we
so
wrap things up?
we'll wrap things up. Well done, everyone. I feel like we all know what direction we're going in. We need this playable prototype by next week. Also, Costas wants us to have play testing sessions all next week, and it's like, Costas, he really wants to have the whole thing filmed.
Before the prototype's done.
Yeah, he wants us, by Tuesday, he wanted us to have a play testing session.
Yeah, prototype.
How?
And I was just like, yeah, that's what I was like to him. I was just like, okay, Costas, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but
We don't even have the design.